Hello, Targar friends. Hey, everybody. It's Jason Blaha here, and once again, it is time for another Orc Mode workout. Today was Max Effort Press Day, but a quick reminder, please click like down below. It would be greatly appreciated. And my maxing went terrible today. You know what? We had a great day last week, right? We had Thursday came around. What happened? Got some good pressing in. Pressing strength is coming back up. We were doing well with all the 20 rep stuff. I did probably too much pressing and I didn't recover from it. Next day, what happened? PRs, baby. Squat PR, 605 squat, 550 good morning. Okay, everything was good. This morning rolls around. My shoulders, my chest, and delts just didn't feel recovered in general. I went to hit these weights and I noticed kind of with the medium grip benching, felt a lot of chest activation in general. But watch what happens here. Notice that transition where it sticks with this medium grip. That's my delts. Okay, now we know my delts are weak right now, and I'm going to bring them back up. We're building them up now that I have full, well, at least my full range of motion in my shoulders. I can lift my arms above my head again, which I couldn't do that in December, by the way. People may not be aware of that. I couldn't actually lift my arm up higher, even in the front, higher than about my chin. So what I've done is a ton of rear delt work has actually been the thing that's helped me the most, rear delt flies. But I went to do this today and I could not run the bands. Hit right there. Look at that same transition point. See the bar shifted down then back up. Could not run the bands. The bands jerked me down. I missed it. I was very disappointed in that. And I'm like, well, let me do a floor press. And I've realized after today, right now, floor pressing may not be what I need to be doing. Okay, I need to have a heavier focus on my shoulders and triceps and all that. I don't know that floor pressing is what I need to do. I thought this would be fine. I came up, like, well, let me just ramp up and get to 315, because we just did 310 Thursday with the axle bar. The axle bar should be harder. So I'm like, I should be able to get 315. So I went 225, 225, 275, 275 went up easy. I could have repped that. Went 315, got midway up. It stuck, and I had to lift my butt off the ground. Okay, so some people, before anyone tries to say, oh, that's a lift, no. I had to lift my butt off the ground to get it into the J-hooks. That's a miss. Meaning, had I not done that, it would have just came down, and I'd have had to just, crawl out from under it. So, it's one of those days where I'm looking at it saying, this was not my day. I think I did probably too much pressing volume on Thursday. I think my shoulders were still kind of like, wow, you made us overhead press. We don't know how to feel about that, right? Because those were sets pretty much to failure, even with a lightweight. And I just felt like my pecs to some extent, but I don't know that it was pecs. I felt like my front delts today, just in general, they just couldn't handle it. Because if we look at where everything sticks, look at where everything's sticking, right about those points where the interior deltoids do have to start doing a lot of work. Okay, I had to lift my butt to get that racked. Bad day, but I'm not going to get upset about it, because you know what? We had a good day Thursday. Good pressing day Thursday. It was really good. Friday was PRs. Okay, Friday was PRs. And when I say PRs, I'm talking the most I've ever squatted in my entire life, psyched up, and peaked with 605 in my 20s. And I had more muscle than I do now. So for me to hit that 605 on that cambered bar, that's good. My 550 good morning, that is a lifetime PR. I've never touched that weight on a good morning before. So I looked at this and said, look, my shoulders need a lot of strength work. I feel like the medium grip, I'm really struggling with kind of that transition. I'm going to go back. I'm stronger with close grip anyways. Let's go back. Let's mess with close grip. So I did my rep work with close grip, and I skipped the floor press today because I realized, you know what, maybe it's a bit much for my chest. I did a lot of volume. I need to gradually work the volume up. Let's take a day where we only do 3 real sets of chest presses. And these are limit sets for 20s. Get them paused, get some quality work in, lit my pecs and triceps up. Right, so I did my close grip pressing. And here's what I think I'm going to do, because the overhead pressing, it was still weak today, but it felt good. My shoulders feel really good after doing all this. I'm like, okay, now that I can overhead press, we're going to push it again, and I want to work the incline back in. And now that I've found the culprits, and really it was still the chin-ups and everything that was causing the issues, I'm working my rear delts every day with rear delt flies, which is the best thing I could have done. Out of everything I've messed with, it's consistently the best. It is really, really working wonders for me. You know, I'd said before I'm getting that crackling feeling when I do it. That crackling sound, it's gone away now. As of Sunday, I can now do a couple sets of it without my shoulders crackling at all. Okay. I feel like my shoulder health is coming back, and the main thing is going to be staying on top of those rear delts. I'm going to have to really hammer the rear delts and infraspinatus. I have to work them all the time. Ultra high priority. But I can work the incline back in and the overhead press, and that's what's going to help bring my overhead press back up too. I need that synergy, and if I'm going to close grip bench, and I'm like, look, let's just mess with the close grip. We know what we're good at. I mean, I benched 352 close grip twice last year. That's probably the grip I'm most likely to get to 400 on. Be realistic. Hey, I know I just need to build my lats, and then pecs. The close grip work and lots of reps, and incline will build pecs. I'm going to continue to build that connective tissue in my chest. I know I need more pec tendon, but we'll do close grip work. I can do close grip bench, close grip incline, my closer grip overhead press. I think we'll get a good synergy between those three. And again, we're not necessarily going to max on the other two just yet, right? I need to build up some rep work, keep my maxing on bands and chains with the close grip pressing. Or I could do some pin pressing with it and whatever. I can change it up and get some variation. I think that's the direction we need to go with this newer system of doing all the rep work. But I think, you know, as far as my chest goes, close grip and incline can build all the chest I need. But I need to put really that heavy focus on building my whole shoulder structure back up. So the incline and overhead press are going to help with that. And I'm going to live on rear delt work with that. And obviously my rowing and stuff. And I think I'm even going to kind of pull some of the snatch grip work out, because that's a little bit much to deal with in terms of extra axial loading before I do my lower body the next day. And I do notice it really fatigues my low back, especially when I'm doing standing presses also. So I think the standing presses and the rows are all I need to be doing standing on my upper days. But these felt really good today. And I messed with grip. When I got this bar and I could space the grip, I found that closed grip is what put my shoulder in the most comfortable position. Now, the first few reps when I started with the empty bar, it crackled a little and everything popped in place and I was good. Now, I don't have still at this point what people would call the full lockout. Part of that's because my elbows don't lock even overhead all the way. I've demonstrated that for people before. But I think what I've noticed is that the rear delt work seems to be helping with shoulder mobility the most for me. And because what is mobility? Mobility is caused by muscle imbalances, right? That is what causes mobility problems. And I think it's the case that my rear delts are just still too weak in general. And some of my rotators. So all the rear delt work, I'm going to just keep doing it religiously and consistently. It's restored tremendously my range of motion. It's removed most of the crackling sounds and things I get in my shoulder. That's done the most for me. I think that's what I need to do. And so we're going to stick with these. And that's probably, I'm going to try to start working it in this workout. I'll probably do a close grip flat bench, some close grip incline, and then this closer grip standing press. And yeah, it's light right now. I only have 75 pounds on the bar for 3 sets of 20, and I know that's bad because you guys have seen me do 225 multiple times in the past. I've actually hit 227.5 once on a standing press. So it shows you how far my delts have regressed every time that inflammation comes back. And it's been chin-ups and pull-ups that caused it every single time, always. And so again, I tried to work chin-ups back in, and I was repping 90 pounds again, but again, it kept my shoulder inflamed. But now I can do this pain-free. I can get overhead pain-free. So it's not the overhead press that's bothering me. I can't overhead press if I'm going to try to do chin-ups and pull-ups. Can't even do incline. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back over to that old school method. The old school method where you do 30 you're pressing flat, 30 you're pressing incline, 30 you're pressing overhead for your actual rep work. Okay, but I'm going to keep it with this very high rep system I'm doing now. So it's going to be light weights. And I'm going to stay on top of the rowing and the rear delt work. Okay, And then we're going to focus on triceps. And I decided today, because really the bands, I like the band work, but it doesn't really do the same thing as far as blowing my triceps up that, you know, real extensions or JM presses or anything do. So today I decided, let me just get in, let's do some skull crushers at the end of this. Get a real good tricep pump. I feel like if I'm doing 20s, I'm not worried about tendons becoming an issue at all. And I can always do it an extra few sets here and there of some band press downs just to make sure. But I did all those tons of band press downs during this last phase. My elbow tendons are probably good. And then this high rep stuff here, this still builds tendons quite well. So I think doing some skull crushers like this that will really, really hammer the tricep, parts of the tricep involved with the bench, give me some extra tricep work so we can put that focus there to make sure my triceps continue to come up. But I think we're going to mess with, again, that three-way combination of pressing, a lot of rear delts, and then do triceps, and just direct tricep work, and then direct arm work. So really, I have 4 muscles in my body that I do single joint exercises for these days now. Hamstrings, biceps, triceps, rear delts. And everything else can be hit with the big movements. But for me, I feel like those are muscles that definitely need, the extra direct work. And as we've talked about the biceps already, we know it'll help with benching. And because for rowing, a lot of times my biceps almost seem to be a limiting factor with higher rep rowing. I get such an intense bicep pump. I feel like if I continue to work on biceps, that will actually help my rowing performance. And again, can have bench carryover due to that stability. It's a dynamic stabilizer in the bench. Okay. And the extra higher rep work to strengthen tendons will help with safety on the deadlift. So I definitely need to continue to do curls. And we definitely need tricep extensions. We need the tricep extensions of some type. And I feel like, again, right now, my tendons are healthy enough. Skull crushers are not an issue. For some people, they can't handle these. And I've seen plenty of experts out there, really good bench specialists, have said things like, skull crushers really are the best tricep exercise if you could do them indefinitely, but some people can't. It becomes a tendon problem. And I have clients who can't. I have clients who, if we do 3 weeks of skull crushers, even for sets of 15 plus, their elbows start inflaming and we have to take them back out. But I have other guys who can do them all the time. I have guys who can do JM presses year round, as long as we use the right equipment. And I can look back into that too. I can always rotate those over, mess with my axle bar and stuff for it. But these will work for now. They'll work for now. And my shoulders felt good doing these today too, because everything is coming back around to where I need it. And again, we just keep stupid pull-ups and chin-ups out. And we don't risk re-impinging that shoulder, because that's what it was. It was a shoulder impingement. So I decided to go back today because, again, just for some variation, I pulled the supine rows out and I'm going to do overhand rows. Why? Because I'm doing curls anyways. Not only that, but I feel lots of bicep when I row. If anything, biceps are almost my weak link even on these. I don't need to add an extra degree of bicep activation because I'm going to curl afterwards anyways. But keeping in mind, we row 4 days a week. I row 4 days a week. So today I did 5 sets because I decided, okay, I'm going to go ahead and pull the snatch grip hang pulls out this for now. So we need more rowing for more back, more rear delt, more trap and all that. And I think also because I'm doing overhead pressing again, some of the benefits I was getting from that are gone. And as long as I focus upon, again, very, very seriously the rear delt small movements. And I mean, we can see there, I mean, my rear delt is smaller than my front delt, right? Very visibly. Very visibly. But all of this comes down to, I know that right now, all of that benching, I definitely saw shoulder weakness. Shoulder was limiting me. And it doesn't mean my pecs and triceps don't need to come up. They do. But as of that very moment, I can tell that my shoulders have detrained. My delts are weaker. And we'll bring them up. We've done it before. I've had strong front delts before. Again, I've strict pressed 227.5. I know how to do it. Just had to get my shoulder health completely restored. Figure out for sure what movements aggravate it, which ones I can't do, which ones I can do. But I feel like at this point, with the way everything's going, and I am doing a little bit of light hanging, even just for that right now. but I don't go into a full dead hang. Like, I don't actually pull myself up. I just kind of go on my tippy toes a little bit and hang, up off the bar, squat down a little. So I've been doing a little bit of that sometimes after I do rear delt flies, just to kind of get everything into that position. And I think over time, that combination of stuff will restore shoulder mobility. But the most important part, again, the rear delt work. I have to do it. And these rows contribute. These contribute. I mean, rows are a great rear delt exercise. However, I have to train mine directly. Okay, I don't have the option of not doing it. And I just have to accept that. And for a lot of people who have some shoulder issues out there on your pressing, doing more rear delt work, it wouldn't be a bad idea. And I don't find face pulls and stuff to help me. And I know plenty of experts prescribe them. They think they're great. I did them religiously in the past. They didn't help me stop any problems at all. And I like the face pull. I prescribe it to a lot of my lifters. I find that for me, the face pulls just don't really do as much. They don't do that much for me. They really don't. So the rear delt flies with light plates, and I only use a 5-pound plate. I started with the 2.5s. I do sets of like 35, 40 reps to failure with a 5-pound plate. And I twist my pinky up at the top and bend all the way over at 90 degrees. But it gives my whole delt a pump. I mean, it hammers the rear delt, but I feel my side delt and everything on it too. And then we finished off with 3 sets of 20 on straight bar curls. Now, I can change these up. I like these for now. Doesn't mean I have to stick with just this. I can do a strict curl over against the rack like I've done before. I could work in some cheat curls. I can do axle bar curls. I can grab my 1 pair of dumbbells and do high rep hammer curls. And we can do other curls. But these work really good as long as you can do them. Sometimes they start to create some fatigue in the forearm and some inflammation, and when they do, you cut them out. But this is a great curl, right? It's a great curl because we can get a little bit of shoulder travel involved and everything else. It works the entire bicep, right? Good exercise as long as it's not inflaming you. But that's less likely to happen when we're going real light with real high reps. Right, because again, we're getting good blood flow to the tendons and everything. We're less likely to run into some of those problems. But I need the bicep work. I need the bicep work for the reasons I stated already. So again, just 3 sets of 20 at the end of each upper workout. But again, keeping in mind we're doing still averaging, I think at this point it'll be 16 sets of rows a week. That is bicep work. This is just hitting them more directly because sometimes we have muscles that need that. So this is what I'm doing now that I've switched over to this 20 rep system. I've assessed things a little better, what I can handle, what I can recover from, what I seem to really need to get my bench going, and I think that's going to be the game plan. And that's subject to change. I'm going to assess it and see how it goes. And again, I have clients who use systems like that who outbench me. They outbench me. You always get that people say, well, how come your clients, you need to hire your clients. I'm like, because I out squat and deadlift all my clients. And most of those guys who outbench me, I've put 30, 40, 50 pounds on their bench already. They were stuck. They were stuck for years. They didn't outbench me when they hired me. So it's about good coaching. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative. And I will talk to you guys next time.